Hi, how you doing? Good to see you all. Sorry for the lastminute.com notice, but I knew I had to get this live stream done. So if you've missed it on the live, I'm sure you can catch up on the replay. So in case you don't know, my name's Richard Answer, and I'm going to talk to you regarding a poll I put up a bit earlier during the week. I'll just share my screen and show you now. Give me a second. Just turn my volume down. It's a bit loud at my end. And then share my screen, and then we can get cracking on. Right, so we are, where are we? Share. All right, I'm going to do one thing so you can see my screen just a bit clearer. That should do it better. Okay, awesome. Right, so welcome everyone who's joining. I'll give it a couple more minutes. And I'll share my screen in the meantime. Just going to show you the poll. Good. So Gorby, how you doing? Excellent. I'm guessing you guys can hear me okay. I'm trusting you are hearing me all right. Okay, so now I want to show you the poll that I did during the week in case you missed it. And it's this here. So the question I had posed, I basically said about private trust, public trust, tax, money, asset protection, wills. From the list below, who is the most important entity? So I put beneficiary, trustee, settlor, your mate who's an expert, or solicitor. So no one voted for solicitor. Only one person put down a mate who's an expert, I guess, as a joke. 4 people put down settlor, 7 put down trustee, and 18 believed it was the beneficiary. So the actual answer, unless anyone wants to give it a try now, anyone want to give it another try before I answer the question? If you can, type it in the comments. I'll wait a minute or two. It's not beneficiary, just to give you a big clue. But it's interesting that most people thought it was a beneficiary. So let's see what people think. Give it one more minute, then we'll all right. Maybe keep people want to think about it, or they've been shy. Right. The answer is basically the trustee. All right. So it is the trustee who is the most important role in their trust relationship, regardless. All right. Now, maybe I should give a bit of clarity behind that. So there's a trustee who is the most important role. Okay. Now, let me explain. So just so you know, the most important role of the trustee. Now, in a trust, what we have, okay, just as a very brief recap about trust relationship, you have a settlor who is the one that obviously creates the trust. Right, you have the beneficiary, who's the one that benefits. Okay, now in equity, yes, they are the owner. All right, and then you have the trustee, okay, who is basically the administrator. All right. And they're kind of the bridge between the public and the private realm, really, between the equity and between the at law. The law only recognizes and sees a trustee. Okay. And that's a big deal. All right. So if you say at law, we could say the public. All right. So that's why I'm saying they're the most important, because they're the communicators, they're the spokesperson, they're the ones that manage the rules or abide by the rules of the trust. So obviously, you've got the property in the trust, and their job is to protect that and make sure that the beneficiary has use of that property as per the wishes of the settlor. Okay. So trusts can come up in different guises. I mentioned there, about wills, for example. What else did I mention? There's different guises of trusts. Well, you got wills, you got your private trusts. All right, you've got your public trusts, statutory trusts. Okay, offshore trusts, pensions. Okay, other fiduciary so say documents or arrangements. All right, and ultimately, these are all trusts in one way, shape, or form. And so trustees are the spokesperson, are the ones who manage it. They don't own it, but they manage it. And now the reason why it's important that you understand that is they're the first line of defense. So obviously, whether it's a private trust, public trust, a will, they'll have a set of rules, whether they're by legislation, statute, or whether it's privately done by the settlor. They'll have a set of rules that the trustee would have to abide by, or instructions, or what we call powers that the trustee would abide by. And ultimately, the trustee would have to know those rules, understand the law, understand the rights of the trust, the rights of the beneficiary, rights of the settlor, and then communicate in the right way accordingly. So if the trustee gets it wrong, it's all over. If the trustee knows what they're doing, then happy days. So especially those who's thinking of setting up their own private trust for their chattels or personal goods or whatever, if you're appointing someone as a trustee who has no idea about trust or how understand how trusts work, or gets intimidated easily, or gets scared, or don't know their rights, or don't understand their power, then things can go very wrong very quickly if they're ever challenged in any way by third parties, etc., trying to get behind the trust, or trying to establish what's going on, or just asking general questions about the trust. If they have no idea or understanding of how trusts work, then the trustees, if you've got the wrong trustees in place, then that can cause problems. All right. Also, especially in the world where I'm also a will writer and estate planner. I do a lot of living trusts, family trusts, etc. And the same thing happens there. The rules are pretty much the same to some degree, and effectively, normally you have more than one trustee, and nothing can happen unless the trustees agree. So a lot of people have family members, sons, daughters, siblings, who are the trustees, and if they have a falling out, nothing can happen. Nothing can even proceed. So it's really important that you've got the right trustees in place. So that's why I basically posted the poll, the question, what's the most important role? Because I think I need people to highlight and understand that. It's amazing that a lot of people put down the beneficiary as the, thought the beneficiary was the most important role. That's not actually the case. The beneficiary's role is just to enjoy the benefits effectively, but they don't have any communication at all in any way with the public, or with anyone who challenges the trust. Okay, and you've got to remember they're three separate offices. All right, it's very important you understand that. So even if you had the same person acting as a beneficiary and as a say the settlor, for example, it's three separate hats. Okay, so you can't confuse them or mix them up. All right, so it's three separate offices. So the first office would be the settlor. As I said, they set the trust up. The beneficiaries, one that benefits from the trust. The trustee is the one who administrates the trust. Very important role. Okay, trustee. All right, and so and the world only recognizes the public will only recognise as a trustee. So you need someone who understands both sides, understands the role of trust, and understands the role of whether that's the law or whatever situation's going on. Okay, so and ultimately your rights. Okay, not easily intimidated, not easily cowardice or acts easily duped or deceived because of fear. All right, a trustee is one who don't, because of their knowledge and their qualifications, they're not scared to challenge in the right way and understand the law, as good as anyone. Normally, the more qualified they are, the better they are. So that's a key thing. You can have lay trustees, obviously, but then they may need help in the future with a professional trustee. So it's just to keep your eyes open with that respect. All right. So yes, I just see if there's any questions. So the trust is broken between the Latin and the making people. What is the translation? Trust in Latin. I have no idea what the translation of trust is in Latin. Sorry. I don't know that. Sorry about that. Okay. Right. So yeah, so that was the main thing, just to highlight. I'm going to be doing a few more live streams just to answer a couple of questions in the future. And I did promise that I was going to launch or relaunch or reintroduce the Own Nothing, Control Everything challenge. And I got another surprise coming up as well before the end of the month. So keep your eyes peeled, okay, in the group. Obviously post any questions if you're catching the replay on this. But the next live stream I intend to do, let me just double check. Give me a second. There was another question I posted in the group, and I want to do a live stream on that, and a few more things I wanted to discuss. Let's get it up here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Is it important to have a will even when dealing with private trust? So that's the one I want to talk about next. Okay, I'll give you the heads up. It could be this week. I'll just share the screen. All right, I'll see how it goes. If not, it'll definitely be next week. So I'll put this up earlier in the month. Is it important to have a will even when dealing with private trust? So a lot of people, people have commented on it. Again, I think it's something that people are not aware of. It's very important, actually. So I'll explain why. Again, it's just understanding both sides of the table, so to speak. When you're dealing with private trust and when you're dealing with public trust, depending on what your goals are for your family members as well. So it's important that we discuss that. The last thing you want is, again, in line with understanding the role of a trustee, is you're doing everything you possibly can whilst you're alive to protect your family members based on your knowledge of private trust. And then, if there's something happened to you, I say yesterday, because obviously yesterday's gone, so you're still alive, obviously. So if something happened to you yesterday, that could cause a challenge, maybe from a tax point of view, or maybe trustees that have no idea what to do if they challenge, etc. So having a will is still a trust which comes alive upon death, and it still allows you to have control in some way, shape, or form. So it's something I want to discuss in more detail in the next live stream I'm going to do. If you've got any questions either on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to post them down. I'll reply, no problem at all. If you're catching the replay again, feel free to comment on that. Just whilst you're live, for those who are on, is there something that you'd be interested in finding out more about? Is there any other topics that you want to find out more about? Just if you can quickly jot it down now, it'd be good to see. Just let me know before I wrap up this live stream. Okay, if I wrap it up at legal law, we've got, I think, I'm not sure. But yeah, just let me know whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Just drop in the comments, and I'll definitely pick that up. And we'll if it's not on here or I haven't mentioned it, if I can talk about it, then I will. All right. Okay, so we're hitting the 15-minute mark now. So thank you so much for your time. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I do appreciate you jumping on board in the first place. That's really appreciated. And as I said before, see you it's Wednesday now, so see you either possibly tomorrow. If not, it'll be next week. But I will give you the heads up in advance so you have an idea. All right. Speak to you all soon. Thank you once again for jumping on board. And in the replay, again, put any comments if you have any questions. Otherwise, thanks a lot for your time. I hope this was useful to you all. Cheers.